Just cleaned up, call this number back. I need $25 for this walk around sit down chair.
Productions. Been around the block.
Yes, I can do hip hop. It's like
Been
reggae.
around the block.
Welcome to Been Around the Block, episode 20. Thank you all for tuning in. There's only 2 right now, but there will be more. This is a milestone episode for us, man. We've just reached 20 episodes for Been Around the Block, and we're very grateful for the people who helped support this. It's kept the Facebook page going, and it's just been really great, man. We just keep growing, and we look forward to seeing where this thing can go. You know, our goal is to reach people that are still struggling with alcoholism and addiction, and you guys have helped us. So thank you to all our viewers.
Amen.
So, and I'm Brooks Southard, man, aka Great Value John Mayer, NPC, whatever you want to call me, man. Glad to be here.
I'm Nemo Sparks.
Yeah.
And I am Chris Ross.
And without any further ado, we have Amanda Brown. How are we doing today, Amanda?
I'm pretty good. How are y'all guys doing?
Good. Thank
Great.
you for agreeing to come on with us. Like I said, it's a milestone episode, so we're really glad to have you, and really look forward to having a good conversation with you. So,
Before we get started, I want to shout out the homie Banjo Cliff. He sent me his merch, and hey, this dude right here is a talented rapper. If y'all don't know, now you know. Go look him up, Banjo Cliff. Also, my homie Michael C. Hall, he hooked me up with a laptop that I'm kind of borrowing it right now, but he hooked me up with a laptop. That way I don't have to stream from my phone, and I kind of feel a little more professional.
hey, you sound more professional. I'm just going to throw that out there. It sounds
you.
really good.
Thank you.
It
Thank
sounds
you,
really
bro.
good.
It's the
So nice
Shure
of us.
microphone. Thanks to you.
We need to get a sponsorship from Shure. I'm using a Shure SM57 Beta. I mean, you know,
We do.
whatever. Yeah.
Definitely. Carrie, yes, it is live. Carrie, right.
It's 100% live. There she goes. Oh, somebody already responded. So Amanda, tell us a little bit about. I mean, you're not going to get into the whole story if you don't want, but just tell us a little bit about where you're at. How much sobriety do you have? What are you doing with your life? I mean, give us a rundown.
Yeah,
A lot of people would like to hear.
On July 14th, I celebrated 2 years.
Hell
So
yeah.
that's pretty cool. I moved out of sober living in January, got my own place with 2 of my friends, learning how to be an adult, working the country road, doing the thing. I don't really.
Now, that's a violin behind you, right?
That
Okay, I'm not
That's
good
a
with
big
musical
violin.
instruments. It's
big. It's saying that,
That-
like it
that's
looks
a
like a violin
cello.
right here, but it's way back
No, it's
there.
a
Did you
bass.
say
Sorry,
that's a
asked her about
cello,
it.
Chris? A
I think
cello?
that's a cello.
Oh.
That's not what he said.
Can you play that thing behind you? I don't.
I mean, I can pick at it, but no, it's my grandpa's.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
So, give us a little bit of history about you. I know, so you got sober in July 2 years ago. Like, what kind of led up to that a little bit? What made you decide to get sober, and what landed you here, and landed you working in a rehab facility?
Yeah, so I started trying to get sober in 2017. I did my first treatment stay in Kansas. It didn't go well. I left and relapsed shortly after that. I was in a facility with about 12 females and 200 men. So y'all can imagine how that went for me.
Jesus.
It was through the military. I did a little short military stay. But
So, how
the
long
next
were you in the
5
military?
years, I did 4 years.
Okay.
Got
What was
a lot of
your
benefits out of that though.
MOS?
I was a human resources, your friendly S1.
Oh, nice.
I did. Yeah, gave people awards, sent them home to their families, all the fun stuff.
Is that where you started getting into your addiction? Was in the military?
Yeah. A lot of drinking. I was in Korea for a while, and like the only, or not the only thing to do, but like one of the major bonding experiences with your fellows is drinking, and I just did not stop. Ripped my life with the decisions I was making. When I got out of treatment in 2018, the next 5 years I just like really struggled. I thought I could do it on my own. I bounced around. I don't really know what to say. I'm getting nervous now.
No, you're all
Oh,
right.
you're good.
You're doing great.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're doing good. So tell me, like, okay, so did it all start in the military, or did you have experience
Oh
with that
no,
before?
absolutely. It
Okay.
started way before that. It just got out of control when I was gotten into the military. When I was younger and like high school, I was sneaking out, stealing cars, going to parties with friends, and you know, making my own rules.
Yeah, I
And it
get that.
took me a really long time to realize that was like an awful idea.
So
So
did
like,
you?
oh, go ahead, Chris.
So did whenever before you joined the military? Um, I have some friends who are active military and still in the military. They kind of got in trouble before they went, and once they got in trouble, it kind of pushed them towards going towards the military. Is that kind of what happened with you,
Um,
or
no,
did you want something different?
I I got married really young, and the marriage kind of didn't go the way I expected it to. And he was re-enlisted in the military, and he got sent to Korea. And I was like, well, what am I going to do with my life? I have nothing, or I thought I had nothing, and so I just enlisted on a whim. And next thing I know, I was at boot camp with a tray against my face, wondering how did I get here. But it turned out, I mean, it's probably one of the best decisions I made for myself because I get a lot from the military now.
Now I'm really big on. Oh, I want to give a shout out to Chad Buckaloo. He's in the comments. What's up, bro? And Banjo. I want to know. I like to follow a timeline. So, what year did you join the military?
2012.
2012. Okay. All right. And you stayed 4 years. So you got out in 2016. By then, are you a full blown alcoholic when you get out?
Just about. I got out and I had my daughter, and she was in the hospital for about 2 months. She was born early, and I just felt like my life was um I don't know, I had no control over anything, and the only thing I could do to separate myself from everything was just to drink, just blackout drunk, and yeah, that's the only way I knew how to deal with anything.
How long did that go on for?
16. When I got out, it downward spiraled real fast because I wasn't working. Um, my kid's dad supported us, or we were married at the time, but he supported our family, and I was blackout drunk by 4 o'clock, just falling asleep wherever I was, pissing the front porch, the couch, you know.
That's how I was. I was the exact same way. Um,
So, how many kiddos
Embarrassing
you got?
myself. I have 2 kids.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I know, like with my experience, that after inventorying some stuff later on, I realized that I very much had the mind of an alcoholic before even taking a drink, and that's something I've had to look back at and realize that I'm not wired necessarily the
Man,
same. I mean, that's 100% the facts, you know.
are we talking?
So
Are we talking about doing everything alcoholically?
yeah,
Is this what? Yeah, me too,
gambling. I mean, everything. Yeah.
bro. Everything I do is I do to the fullest.
So you got some good comments there
John,
already.
yeah,
Chad
John
Buckaloo says you're
Allen.
good.
Go ahead, Brooks.
Oh,
you
go ahead,
got.
man.
She has a lot of people shouting out to her.
We've been trying to put them up on the screen.
Katuano,
So
McFadden, Christian Mathis. John Allen Silliman says, "Thank you for your service." Chad Buckaloo says, "Amanda, you're a good person," and amen to that.
So I did put a post out on our group page about you. Did you tell people that you would be going live on here?
Did I? I did.
Okay, you
Guys,
did
she is
not.
Well, I told
super
my
nervous.
parents.
She's
Okay,
super nervous, y'all.
I
Show her some love.
I've
We're
never.
gonna need the crowd to show her some love.
yeah, for real. No, you're doing a great job, Amanda. Yeah,
She is.
like everybody's saying there. Thank you for your service. And it's all good, man. Like I said, just pretend like you're just talking to us. We're good here. So what? What's your sobriety look like now? Like I said, I know you said you work for Country Road. Shout out Country Road. I mean, that's like I said, I'm involved with them and everything, and Chris is. So what's your sobriety look like now?
Um, my job really important to me, Monday through Friday. Or well, if I'm awake, I'm answering my phone. But I get to see my kids whenever I want. I have a relationship with my family. I have friends. I used to be one of those people, one of those girls that was like, "Oh, I don't get along with girls." Um, and and now I have like group of females that just loves and supports me, and I have more friends than I've ever had in my life. Um, and I get to turn around and pour love into younger females females with younger sobriety and show them what everyone showed me, and that was really cool.
So, did you go to Unity House?
I did.
Okay, shout out Stacy Curtis. Stacy
Such a good
Curtis
experience.
putting, yeah, she helps out a lot of people. She helps out a lot.
Changed my life. Yeah,
Did you? Was that your? Whenever you went there, was that your first time in sober living?
it was. Up at that point, I would just like go to rehab, get out, usually do Suboxone, and just kind of shuffle back and forth between detox, homeless, all the things. But I had a counselor that was like, "Don't do what's best for your kids. Don't do what's best for your parents. Do what's best for your sobriety." And for me at the time, it looked like sober living, and it taught me how to, there were rules. I had to go have a job. Oh, I love Kristen Mathis. Um, had to have a job, had to do all the things, and yeah, I lost my train of thought.
No, I want to ask. So you mentioned Suboxone. Was you an opiate addict? Opiates was part of your okay.
That's mine. Up until till 2018, it was alcohol. When I got out of treatment, I left treatment with a young man, and we found other things real quick. And that I found out if I use heroin that I didn't need to drink, and you couldn't smell the heroin on my breath. I thought I could hide it better.
Right.
Um, but my parents and my family found out really fast, and yeah,
Did
That's
you
why I
end up
quit drinking.
did you end
hmm
up getting off the Suboxone?
yeah.
Good deal.
Suboxone didn't work for me. I mean, I know it works for a lot of people. I'm not talking smack on that, but for me, it didn't work because I didn't like some of the side effects, and I would just stop taking it to and just do it on my own, and then I would just relapse.
So
I
yeah,
wouldn't tell the
and
doctor.
I never put anyone else down, but my experience with it was I didn't feel any pain and I didn't feel any joy. I
Mm,
was numb. I was numb to the world. It was like if I tried to laugh, it'd be like a forced laugh. It'd be like, ha ha, ha. Like I I would have to like practice laughing because I didn't feel nothing. And that was one of the worst things I ever got off. And I'm an opiate addict, like from back in 03, 04, when the OCs were really OCs, and I went down the whole Oxycontin, Roxy's to heroin to methadone to that, and just and I gotta say Suboxone was the worst thing I had ever came off of out of all those things. Because the withdrawals lasted so long. But it was like once I broke free of that, or like when I made it to like day 45, I started to feel again. I was getting goosebumps, and I was like, I I was like, man, this is what life is. You're supposed to feel life, you know. That whole time I wasn't feeling life, you know. I would take my Suboxone, and say that I was sober, and I didn't feel it. I didn't feel sober. Now I'm for everyone listening. I'm speaking from my own experience. Um, I didn't feel sober. I felt convicted, and I just I felt fully alive when I finally came off of that. And yeah, so good deal, good deal. You got off of it.
Yeah, 100%. I was talking to somebody, I think just the other day about that, and I actually quoted what you'd said in one of the earlier episodes, Bradley, about changing or trading a monkey on your back for a gorilla. And that's like, because I did the whole methadone program thing, and that was the worst withdrawal experience I ever had. Like, it was so bad I couldn't even make it from the toilet to the shower and back because
Yeah,
the withdrawals were so bad. That shit's a night. I mean, I'm gonna do the disclaimer like Bradley did. I'm speaking from my own experience. You know
Yeah.
that's not me dogging anybody's program or whatever. But that's my. It didn't work for me, and I could never like. Yeah, it was definitely a gorilla in exchange for just a small monkey on my back. So
With my experience with that, I went through. I was like dealing with living on my mom. Well, not even living, just being able to even stay the night on my mom's couch and stuff. And I was going through a TRC outpatient program, and I'd have to go every morning and go talk to my counselor or whatever. And after I get done talking to him, he'd give me Suboxone, the pills, the little peach tasting pills. He'd give me those, and I would literally stick it under my tongue, and right as like for like the first 2 or 3 days I was doing it, then I stick it under my tongue and I'd walk out and I would like go get in the car with my plug and do a little quick trade because he was actually taking them, and I was like, I'm about to go get high. Like I got a bunch of stuff to go do today, so I'd wake up really early, go get that done, and just take off throughout the day.
yeah,
oh, this was just posted in our comments.
yeah.
Somebody's
I
saying
wanted to answer. I read that. I want to answer
doctor.
to
Go to a doctor is my. I mean,
a doctor. Yeah, so we're not doctors. And Chad, I
yeah.
know Chad from back in the day. Um, I've been sober. I'll have 7 years in November, Chad. That was one of your questions, and another question you asked was you're coming off Suboxone slowly. What do y'all recommend? You also work 55 to 60 hours a week. Brother, I totally understand. And if you are coming off of it slowly, I would just continue to do what you're doing and continue to taper down. Okay. Because if you're like me, you got that addict mindset. You wake up one day and, it's not enough. And you go, well, you know what? I've been doing a good job tapering down. I might as well double up today. Don't. Also, I would say have someone that you trust, that you love, that is completely free from that, and that can maybe hold your pills for you,
Yeah, monitor.
and yeah, and to monitor your pills for you. Um, but I will say this, Chad, don't give up, brother. Um, I know you can do it, man. It does suck, but there is freedom on that other side. Like
Yeah, 100%.
it is going to be painful, but I promise it's going to be worth it. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
John Allen, he said I spent time in rehab and the worst detoxing I saw was coming off Suboxone. And like recently, like yeah, that's up until now, like up until I've seen people come off of fentanyl, and like I've seen people that can't even like sit down, and they're like think that they're like, I need this, I need methadone, I need Suboxone, like. And then this is just what I think. It's not absolutely true. Um, I think it might be matched up equally, really, with those two things, and that's just from what I've seen.
I think like what Bradley said though, none of us are doctors, man.
Yeah,
Seek medical advice for that. Do it under medical supervision because
We're
we're
not,
not.
and
None of us are
your
qualified.
recovery
Yeah,
journey is yours.
yeah,
That's to everyone watching and everyone listening. Your recovery journey is yours. But my prayer to everyone is that one day you could be completely from it all, free from it all. Um, if you've if you're not shooting heroin anymore and you're on Suboxone and you're able to hold a job and, you know, keep your family and all that, then, you know, that's great. That's harm reduction. You're not
Yeah.
doing what you used to
Part of
do.
your
You're
process.
not
Yeah.
burning your life down. That's great. If you're gone from drinking alcohol to smoking marijuana, and it's crazy because everyone smokes marijuana these days, but so
Yeah.
I believe, and because of me, complete abstinence was the only thing that worked for me because I'm a real addict. You know what I'm saying? Like I do everything to the fullest, everything, and I can never just do one thing. But um,
What are
Mike
your
B
thoughts
wants
on
to.
that, Amanda?
On which part?
On
Which
all of
part?
it. I mean, what are your? Because you
Hmm.
said you came off Suboxone, right? How do I? You
Yeah.
did that medically, right?
Yeah. Um, Similar to what Bradley was saying, like those emotions started coming back, and that's when I realized like that's what I had the problem with was like
Yeah.
learning how to deal with my emotions on my own. It was just like a tidal wave of emotions hit me, crying. I spent the first 2 weeks in treatment crying, saying, "I want my mama." Um, and
Crying over commercials. Like,
I
yeah,
did that a lot for fucking aspirin commercials and shit, man.
yeah.
um, I just didn't know how to deal with anything. I didn't know how to deal with being angry, being lonely. Um, Even like every time I heard country music, I couldn't listen to country music for the longest time. I just tears. Um, and just like I had to learn how to breathe again. Just sit somewhere and
and
breathe.
and what she's talking about is there. So there's two kinds of sobriety. You know, there's the physical. We get off the drugs, and we're not physically dependent on him anymore. But then we are emotionally wrecked. You know, so there's an emotional sobriety that we go through, and you know, a lot of us are codependent. A lot of us are insecure, and we got to learn how to work through those things without reaching for that one thing that could alleviate it all, which was drugs and alcohol. And so you're finding a new solution. You know, drugs and alcohol was your solution, and it wasn't your problem. It was your solution. So now we get rid of those things, and we're stuck with our feelings. We're stuck with our emotions. We're emotionally immature, and we got to figure out how to find a new solution without going back to that.
Well, the
And that's
craziest thing
that's a
though
big one.
is with sobriety, man, is you think that everything's gonna be peaches and cream, and that's been one of my biggest struggles. You got the peaks and valleys, and there's life still going on. You still got those consequences from what you're doing when you're out there in philanthropy, as I like to say for my own behalf. But you know, consequences are still there, and you still got those emotions that you had ran from for so long are still there, and you got to clean up the past on all that.
Um, Chelsea, I'm gonna shout out Chelsea Phillips. That's my wife's like childhood friend. She said, let me see if I can scroll down. Can you click up there for me?
I got it here. I can put it up there.
Okay. She's been on methadone for 2 years and finally down to 55 milligrams, but I'm so scared to be sick for days because I have kids and stuff to get done every single day. I know everyone is different, but do any of y'all have a timeline, maybe of how long it takes to completely subside from feeling sick after coming off of it all the way? Okay, I can speak methadone. I can speak it from my experience because I've been on it 2 different times. Um, so the very first time I was on methadone, I got locked up. I had to detox in jail. But it was I came off 100 milligrams. You said you were on 55. I was on 100, and I came off of it cold turkey. And I mean, it was bad.
So yeah,
And I'm not trying to say that to scare anyone, but I wish I would have had the means that people have out in this world right now. Like if you're not locked up, because they don't care, they throw you an ibuprofen until you get over it. Um, but you can. I would say um and you can message me, private message me, and we can get you some help. But if you're stuck at a level where you feel like you can't go down anymore, but you really want to get off of it, I would advise medically detoxing. And I truly believe, I know you're worried, you're a single mother, you're worried about your kids and what's going to happen, but I believe if you make that choice to do that, take that, you know, take that leap of faith that God will take care of the rest, all that stuff you're worried about, and you can be completely free from that. Yes, my mother, rest in peace. My mother was on it for 14 years, and she died in a car wreck in 2022, and she was having seizures there towards the end. She stayed on it all the way till she died, and she was having seizures. And I truly believe that it was the long-term methadone that had caused her seizures. Nobody can tell me different. And I believe that she seized out whenever she was driving, and and that's what caused her wreck, and she died. But she wanted to get off of it for years, and I can remember her being in tears. Yeah, I mean, these big pharma got a stronghold in these people, and I can go on and on about this because I'm an opiate addict, ex-opiate addict, and I truly hate the shit, and I hate it because I see people that I love who are imprisoned by it, and they can't get out, and yeah. So anyway,
So I'm Amanda. I got a question. What are some? I know you know the answers to these. What are some good places that that are around that we could you know tell people about? Like like Oakwood Springs is a good place to go when you're detoxing and stuff like that. And it's not just off of whatever, they try to help mental health and everything like that too.
Yeah, absolutely. Oakwood Springs is a great one. You can walk in there. You usually need to get there in the morning because they fill up pretty quick. St. Anthony's Start program, fantastic. TRC is fantastic. Um, I went to St. Anthony's several times, and they just I felt so ashamed, walking back in there the third or fourth time. Like, hey, you know, didn't learn anything. They treat you like a human. Um, I was homeless the last time I went in, and one of the nurses helped me out with some clothes. Um, just love and support. Um, Valley Hope is great. They have a detox program on site. Country Roads is working on a detox. Should be within the next year. Paul's Valley actually just opened a new detox at Valley Community Hospital. So I think they can fit like 10 people right now, but they're growing.
What is Arcadia Springs? They do detox stuff too, right?
It's Arcadia
Arcadia
Trails.
Trails, yeah.
Arcadia Trails.
Yeah.
They do it there, right? That's
They have a detox and a 30-day inpatient program.
12 and 12. It ain't called 12 and 12 anymore in Tulsa.
No, somebody told me what the name was. I can't remember the name.
Hey,
Grand?
that was a
That's where I
it's
went.
called Grand. Yeah, that was a real
Grand,
good
yeah.
one that I went to in Tulsa, and
When
I
did you
wasn't
go,
trying to
Bradley?
get. I went in 2017, a month
Okay.
before I really got sober. I was just going. I went there and I was just going, basically to get the paper signed for the judge. But
Sure.
yeah, looking back, if I would have been serious about it, that would have been a great place to go.
It was really good for me. I went in 2014, but I could have gotten sober in a trash can because I was
Yeah.
so beat up,
Oh, Heather Renee, she said,
want
I
to put
don't
that
know
one back
any.
up there?
Yeah, put that back. I don't know anything about methadone, but I was on Subutex for almost 5 years and had to come off of it completely when I went to treatment. The detox from it was hard, especially from the first 30 days, but it's possible. I feel 1,000% better. Hallelujah. See, these are the testimonies.
man.
These are the kind of comments and testimonies we need. We need these guys, for the people that are still struggling. It is possible. And when you do finally, and like she said, it's hard, but I think anything in life, like anything
Worth
worth
having.
anything in life, yeah, it's going to be hard. But Chelsea, I didn't answer your question. I would say 30 to 45 days, but guys, that's not even the big, like, that's before you can even start sleeping normal and just being able to hold food down. And but a lot of I've heard professionals say it takes 1.5 to 2 years for your brain to rewire itself.
Yeah, I was gonna say, with me, like me just coming I was a heavy IV heroin user, and it's been, I think it's almost been 4 years since I've used. No, it's a little over four since I've used heroin. But it took me over 2 years for my brain, like for me to be able to sleep. It took like over a year and a half. And then for like me to be able to eat normally and like my body to digest food normally, it took about 2 years for that complete. And that was just me personally. And then I started putting on a lot of weight, and I felt I,
Then I
I felt a
blew up.
lot.
All right.
I felt a lot better. Once I was able to sleep, like that was the hardest part for me, the sleeping part.
So if it's
Yeah.
any consolation, my experience with this is like I've been sober almost 3 years, and I just got done spending like $120 in memory supplements. I sleep now and stuff. I have to use melatonin and shit like that. But the bottom line is like I Swiss cheese my brain real bad for doing my philanthropies for so many years. So and I'm still trying to
Hey,
get it back. It drives me absolutely crazy.
put in a full day's work, exercise, get a good night's rest, get some sunlight, and pray to Jesus, man. I think everything will be all right.
Definitely.
You saying I don't
Bradley's
go
five
outside much,
suggestions.
bro? Yeah,
So
those are
yeah,
the
those
modified
are our
five
five
suggestions.
suggestions.
Mine, you know, what the hardest thing was for me whenever, like, well, when I came home, and Brooks, you seen this, like, whenever I first came home, I had like a really hard time. Like when I first started doing like my program, I'd having issues with like talking. Like everyone would want to talk to me. People like, "Hey, I'm gonna call you." Like, no, please don't call. I hope to God they don't call me. And then my phone would ring, and I just look at it like this. Now I have an issue with putting down my phone, and
It's facts.
it
Yeah.
it's really it's really it was weird talking to people. Like I don't know what it was. I was really antisocial whenever I was out there, and I don't know if you guys were like I was like the person in a hotel room by themselves, like trying to avoid every single person in any type of confrontation.
100%, man. I
And
still
viewers, if
struggle
y'all
with
don't know,
people.
y'all are listening to Black Guy right now. That's Black Eye, Black Eye, not
Black
Black
eye.
Guy. We're not.
Yeah,
It's not racist. It's Black Eye.
for real.
Oh my
Because I be getting people. They're like, hey, bro, is that the dude from the videos?
No, man.
Yeah.
It's his twin brother, man.
oh
It's
god,
fine. Yeah, so
man.
we need to all get together and do a skit again soon. All three of us with
Yeah.
Black Guy, Butch, Vic,
Yeah.
whatever.
Chucky
I don't know what
D's.
the name.
Chucky D's.
Chucky
Oh, I might
motherfucking
as well.
D's.
I might as well announce it on here since. Okay, so I unlocked a new character and I put him on my wall and I let my followers name him. And guys, I gotta say, Chase Freedom. Chase Freedom is
Pretty,
the winner. That's his name. Okay, so y'all
pretty
can,
fucking epic. That's pretty fucking epic. I'm just gonna throw that out
and
there.
he rides a souped up red line.
Ooh,
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yeah,
hell yeah. We can go to skate park and shit.
yeah. You got to hide your old lady too. He's one of
I
them.
saw that. Yeah.
Mr.
He's
Still
one
Yo
of them.
bitch.
So
Yeah, I
Amanda,
like it for that.
awesome. So you get out, you start spiraling down. You said at that time husband, your husband was taking care of y'all, supporting the
Yeah.
family. Was he? I don't want to put his business out there. You don't have to either. But was he also one of us? Or
So he is. I for a long time I thought he was, but I am convinced that he's just a heavy drinker. He
okay,
can drink, but once he gets to that line, he can put it down and walk away. Like he knows when it's time to go to bed. You know what I
I'm
mean?
so
He can
jealous
still.
of those type of people. I'm
Yeah.
so jealous.
Same.
Like my sister can do that. She can have one glass of wine and then put it down and yeah,
Yeah. And he
Oh
still
man.
takes
damn.
care. Like would get our
Whoa.
son to daycare. Or not daycare. Wow, Australia.
Oscar.
That's dope.
Big shout out.
Christian
Thank you
Clark.
for
Shout
watching.
out.
Thank you for watching, Christian Clark.
Yes, congratulations
Really
on
cool.
6 years sober.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
amazing. Hell yeah.
that's awesome. That makes me happy, man.
That doesn't make you any more nervous, does it, Amanda?
A little better about it.
A little bit better, yeah, cool. All right.
Yeah.
So, do you get any questions for us before we keep pecking at you or whatever? You got any questions for us? Like,
Can't think of any.
why don't
We
you hop on
should've-
that bass while you're sitting right there?
We should have invited her bestie to come on here with her.
Absolutely. I love that girl.
Oh, you guys know what we're talking about?
Mackenzie.
No?
Miss
Yeah,
Mackenzie.
Mackenzie.
Mackenzie? Yeah.
What about
It's her
it?
BFF.
Has she commented yet? I know Kristen Mathis did, but no, she ain't watching. Man, how good of a friend is she if she's not even watching?
I didn't tell her.
Oh
But
man.
Mackenzie and I, we actually
I'm
met
just
in
playing.
at Country Road. We met in rehab and we've been friends. We've been sober buddies. Like we pinky promised when we got out of treatment that we would make it a year together.
That's
And
awesome.
we
And
just
you have.
celebrated 2 years there. Yeah.
That's
You know
awesome.
We've
what,
doubled
man?
it.
Mackenzie's good people too, man. I
She
like
is.
her a lot. She's good people. So, all right, you were in Country Roads. Did you stay 90 days?
We did.
Okay.
I did not know it was a 90-day treatment program when I got there. And my mom told me that if I stayed 30, that she would come and get me. That she would call and like see if I was doing good, that she would come get me. And I think by about week 3, I knew that I needed to be there for
And how
my
old were you at this time? You don't have to answer that.
22.
22. Wow. Oh, you got this young.
It was 32. It's
Oh,
32. We're not-
32. Okay.
It was
Okay, yeah.
2022.
Okay,
That's what it
gotcha,
was.
gotcha. Okay, gotcha. Say, man, if you got it at 22, man, you're gonna have a great life ahead of you.
I wish.
Hey, I got
Yeah,
sober
that'll-
at 32 also. That was how old I was when I got sober. 32.
I got sober at 32 too.
Really?
Yeah, fuck you guys.
Wow.
Fuck all you.
You old
36,
motherfucker.
bro. I got 36. Yeah, I was 36. running up on
36 is
3
cool.
years.
36 is cool.
Yeah, whatever, man. You know, it's cool.
I just turned 36.
Well, we can't all be like Wyatt and get it when we're 20 or whatever. I wish.
Man,
I had.
and I
Right.
thought, I thought my life was over. I was like, there's no hope. I wasted too
Woe
many
is me.
years. What's
Yeah.
the point? What's the point? I wasted too many years. I don't.
Mhm.
Yeah.
One of the
It's
coolest
just gonna be
things
so
about
much
that
effort
is-
to
Yeah. Even though I'm old as shit, I still am doing the things that I love, and I'm living the dream, man. And that, like, I say that, like, and I don't say that loosely, because, man, I've done more shit since I've gotten sober this time than I have any other time in my life. So I tried to get sober at 27, and it didn't work. I went, it's a long story on that one.
Life is
But-
pretty good, huh?
Yeah. Well, and, what they say 40 is the new 30, so I'm going with that, man.
Yeah.
whatever.
Oh,
It's fine.
Is that-
Yeah.
Yeah. Who
I like that.
I mean, as soon as I turn 50, it's gonna be 50's the new 40, so it's whatever.
Well, somebody did say, aren't you kind of a little bit old to start chasing your dreams? Who was that?
Yeah.
That was
That
Chaz
wasn't-
Dawson.
Yeah, Chaz. Shout out Chaz.
Fuck Chaz Dawson. We ain't
Yeah,
shouting
so-
him out, bro.
You need to put Chase Freedom against Chaz Dawson and fight.
Hey, like interviewing him.
Yeah.
Oh, bro. I can't wait to tell you some of the ideas I have for this Chase Freedom character, bro. It's so hilarious.
It's
Oh my
fucking
God.
America, man. I mean,
Oh,
just
it's
fucking
America.
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 And he's
man.
gonna he constantly argues on the internet. He argues politics on the internet, but he can't vote because he's a felon.
Oh.
Do you remember that one video I sent you, Bradley, where it's the guy with all the devices and he's like, "This is a good way to get hate on the internet," where he's just arguing. With
Oh
people
yeah,
online.
yeah. Well, I've seen that from a couple people. Yeah, like that's his whole job is to be a hater.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I see people that are like, "Oh, I'm voting for Trump," and I'll just say, "Oh yeah, I'm voting for Biden," and then they go, "Oh, I'm voting for Biden." I go, "Oh, well, I'm voting for Trump," and then I'm like, "Well, I really can't vote either because
So- Those are things that I will never talk about with
Yeah,
anybody. I mean,
I
I will
leave
not talk about
politics out of
religion
it.
publicly and politics. Just won't fucking
Hey,
do it. I mean, it's
politics,
for
religion, race, all that stuff, man,
yeah,
it does nothing but stir up animosity, and
causes
you
separation, man. I
you ain't
mean,
gonna change anyone's mind. Like
Not at all.
I like no one has ever changed my mind by arguing with me. The only
no,
way people have
no,
ever changed my mind is by showing me love. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
telling me truth in love. That's the only way my mind or my heart has ever been changed or swayed. So all this bickering back and forth, especially on the internet, I ain't got time for it. Like I'd rather go play with my baby girl. Like
yeah.
she's 16 months old and she's hilarious.
So, what do you do for recreation nowadays, Amanda? I know, like I said, we obviously know about your work and stuff like that. Like, what do you like to do?
So I recently got a fishing magnet,
Oh,
and
Fishing magnet? Oh,
yeah,
okay. Fuck yeah.
so
Find
that's
anything good
super
yet?
cool. Nope. But I
That
will.
sounds cool as fuck, actually.
I've been looking at
I know
metal
where some good
detectors
spots
online.
are.
Do you?
Yeah.
He's drummed some guns somewhere, so I mean, you know.
Don't you fucking.
So yeah, my purpose in life, I'm going to find hidden treasure eventually. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope. I love
Yeah.
that. Love that.
That's awesome.
So what
Yeah,
else you
So
got for us?
stop hitting the vape like that, Chris.
I can't. This is all I need in life, man. Is my vape.
He got a
It's
steamroller for a vape.
7 devices, babe. I'm set, man.
Oh God, I remember. I'm not gonna say any names, but I know people that show up with multiple vapes, and I'm just like, do you really need that many vapes?
Hey, if they're
Do I know
early
who
in
you're talking
recovery,
about?
check it out. I've seen them
I
come
think I
in
know
with
who
with
you're talking
with
about.
a mod, a throwaway vape, a pack of cigarettes, a Red Bull, and a coffee.
And
When
yeah.
they're early in recovery, man. More power
Well,
to
and they
them.
got they also got the dip too. You can't
Yeah,
forget about that.
more power to them, man. They at a meeting and they getting it.
Yeah, true. Oh, we got somebody
So
else commenting. What we got? These conversations is awesome. Y'all are having these conversations. I was in alcohol for 20 years. 49, never too late for anyone. Amen to that.
that's
Amen,
true.
Lucretia.
Big shout
Amen.
out.
Love
So
that.
I got a question for all y'all.
Shoot,
Um,
man.
have you guys like? I've recently found out a few things about myself. Have you guys suffered any like how would I say it like any medical issues since you guys have gotten sober?
100%. Yeah, I've got high blood pressure, man. I got to take meds for that every day. I got ulcerative colitis, but that's something that's kind of gone on since I used back in the day. That's hung around with me, and it's something cool thing about the new job I'm working, I haven't had a flare up since I've worked there, which is I think speaks volumes on the place that I work. So it's super awesome. And then blood pressure, I'd like to eventually get off that meds if I can, but
Yeah.
imagine shooting
Uh,
meth for 23 years. We'll do that. Weird.
knock on wood, man. No, I'm not. I guess I'm blessed. But yeah, that did worry me. You know what I'm saying? Because we spend so many years damaging our bodies, that we think after 20 years, we just quit and it's gonna be okay. Like, no, you just put a beating on your body. You're still gonna have to suffer those health consequences afterwards. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
was
like I
that
said,
question for Amanda also?
Yes, yes, Amanda. What about you? Any medical issues since you've gotten sober?
I got dandruff. That sucks.
okay, I got that too. Fuck.
I got hemorrhoids. I got hemorrhoids. Does that count?
I mean, I sometimes stare in the corner into the abyss for a while, but whatever. What about you, Chris? You asked a question. What's the answer?
Yeah.
So yeah, I do have medical issues as recently. I've found out that see because I've gotten so fat since
Are
I've
you
gotten.
are you pre-diabetic too?
Yes, I am. I just
Yeah, I
found
found
out
out
last week.
I found I was pre-diabetic last October. So it's
Listen,
also
my
been a while
dad
now.
was the same thing. Change your diet and you'll
I
be
have.
okay.
I
Change your
have.
diet, start exercising. Have you started exercising, bro?
I quit exercising in December, sir.
I bet you got a gym in that apartment, don't you?
Yeah. Yes. And a pool. And a
Well,
pool.
you got a
Oh,
gym and you're not using it. You know
Yeah.
people pay for that shit, right?
Yeah, and I used it at my other work and stuff, but
Brooks, tell them about that pool party you're throwing.
I mean, yeah, whatever, man. We just need to kind of bum rush everybody, and there's 2 grills. I mean, and we can do it. The cool thing is, check it out. Last weekend, my daughter was up. We went swimming for a little bit. They got blue light on that pool, which is fucking dope, man. It's like super. It's got a nice surrounding. Blue light facing the south side. It's nice and serene. It's cool. There's a gazebo.
Brooks, I was just kidding.
I mean, for real.
Hey,
I'm telling you, both you guys that.
so Amanda said that she didn't want to tell her testimony in the beginning of this, and now, and so it turned into like us just bullshitting back and forth, and I can see her down at the bottom. She's like, "Oh my god,
I'm paying attention.
Oh, not like
This is
that.
fine.
what was
I'm
that?"
much more comfortable like this.
I'm
Like
glad.
Brooks was saying,
That's what we wanted to do. We wanted to make you feel more
yeah.
comfortable. Like it, so awesome.
Yeah,
I've
we're just
eaten
trying
so
to
many
chop
holes
it
in my
up as
brain.
best.
It's hard for me to, speak in complete sentences.
You're doing great. You're doing great.
Y'all make it much easier. I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, like so it's super cool. It's like I said, I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, our milestone episode, and yeah, I mean we'd like to follow up with you later on, of course. But yeah, we're very grateful that you came on here, and we're trying to make it as little amount of awkwardness as we can. Hope we're doing
Hey,
good on that. So.
what episode are we gonna start doing follow ups?
I don't know, man. We haven't hit the whole community yet. I mean, we did have our first national guest that you missed last week, and we might have another national guest coming up. Uh, just
Ooh,
wait to see.
I'm
We need to start probably in September.
Actually, after like, one thing about the guessing, I do want to bring up. If you guys want to come on here, be more than happy to reach out. All we
Hey,
requires,
Chris, I told you I got some people that want to come on. You
that's what I
keep
was gonna
filling
say.
up the slots though. You feel
I,
he fill them up all the way back to December, and I'm like, well, I don't know, bro.
no. That's what I'm saying. You like, I left it like I think we got. Hold on, let me make
I
sure.
want to get Bryce. I want to get Bryce Norcom on here.
Okay,
Yes.
and I
Yeah,
think
that'll be a fun one.
we're just booked up till the 18th of
Okay.
August, and then
Okay.
It's the day before
I'm
my birthday.
yeah. What your birthday's 26th?
19th, August 19th. That says the day before my birthday.
Oh, I said I'm looking at the 25th for some reason. Um, um, I think that we need to. I really just want to hear more people. I know Nemo, you got a vast um amount of people that you know and different types of
So,
recovery.
and there's also check it out. There's some things in the works. We might be able to start moving back to a live space coming up. It's just very
We
early.
can, but I don't want to let go of this. I love this, but I do want to do some live stuff too, also.
Yeah, I
Because
think I want to have that as an option. I'd like to do this for national guests and stuff, but we are going to have an option to go back into a live space soon, which is
yes,
it's just in the works right now. So Amanda, what's we gave you the question before, and what does the gift of desperation mean to you? Can you answer that for us, and then give us a question to ask for the next guest?
What is it? The gift of desperation has given to me, right?
Yeah.
Well, fear. One, like I am terrified of going back out, but it's also helped me be able to put myself, like, meet someone where they're at. People that I talk to sometimes on a daily basis, are stuck in that, and I get to jump in there with them and be like, "Hey, man, I've been right where you're at," and yeah.
So what we did last week also was we went around. Well, me and Chris answered this
I think
question.
Nemo should answer the question too.
first.
What's the question?
The
What's
What
the
is
question
gift
was,
of what's the gift of desperation mean to you? And
mean
then
to
we can
me?
all answer this. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So the gift of desperation, what that meant to me was sitting in that bunk in that jail cell, losing everything again, on my way to prison for a third time, and being totally and utterly hopeless, and having no way out but to reach my arm out and ask God for help. Um, so the gift of desperation is what helped me to reach out to God, which totally turned my life completely around. And I ended up finding everything that I was looking for in drugs. So
It's a good answer. Pretty epic. What about you, Chris?
um,
he forgot he was on the show.
I was trying to nap, bro.
the no, the gift of desperation, man. Um, shit, I was locked up already. I got sober in Oklahoma County. And actually, I was still getting high in Oklahoma County until one day I was just like, I didn't know what the. I was just like walking around, and I knew I was gonna be in there for a long fucking time, and I was just like, man, like I'm so tired of this. And this is like the second month I was there. I know I was gonna be there for over a year. And I was just like, man, this is not where it's at. Like you get tired and it's crazy because you'll be I worked at receiving, which is intake, and I'll be like down there like cleaning and I see somebody come to jail and they be there for like 2 or 3 months and they get out and then all of a sudden like a week or two later I see them come back to jail and then I see him get out, and then I see him come back again and get out, and I was just like, the stuff that I'm doing is getting me way more time, and maybe like, it was just like I was sober, but I wasn't. I was just. I wasn't. I wasn't in recovery. That's the way I can put it. Sobriety. Sobriety was okay, but like my gift of desperation is whenever the person that walked up to me once I did get out of prison, um, and I was 2 years sober, and either one or two things were going to happen. I was going to kill myself, or I would have went back out. And I was so desperate that when this person approached me and asked me to go do some things with them, I said yes. I didn't say no. I didn't even think about it. I just said yes and went along with the flow. And ever since then, I've been learning, and learn how to just let God, let go and let God. That's what I had to do.
Oh, yeah. Good answer. That's
Amen.
correct. No.
What
All right,
about you,
so for
Brooks?
me, I was about to
Here,
answer. So the gift of what does the gift of desperation mean to me? And so for me, I'm gonna kind of piggyback a little bit what you guys said, but what it means to me is forcing me to not rest on my own laurels anymore. That's been the biggest problem is control or lack thereof. Gift of desperation has got me a relationship with a power greater than myself. It's got me to where I'm not running the show anymore, and that's been the biggest part of my life is when I get out of the way and just let God do His thing and what He had destined for my life. Things work out, and like I said, it means the world to me. It really does. It put me in places that I would not be able to put myself. So that's my answer for the gift of desperation.
amen, amen. And you don't control anything, Brooks. Remember that.
I do.
You have no
That's
I do.
control.
Nothing. No.
we're
only
talking.
over only over our actions and our reactions, man.
100%.
We were talking. We were talking. Me and Brooks were talking about that yesterday. We were like, the hardest thing that we have is like, and this is something I struggle with all day, every day, is trying to take back control, and it just puts me in the exact same spot over and over and over again.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I think I can do God's job better than me. I mean, I think I can do God's job better. So let me give it a try again. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh
it
fuck! It burned
leaves you
down. Everything
miserable.
burned down again. What the fuck? Yeah.
Yeah, it leaves you miserable. It was never a job intended for you.
I love that, man. Yeah. So, Amanda, what would be your question for our next guest? Do we know who the next guest is?
Yes, we do.
Chris does. You don't have to say, I don't want to say it out loud. I wasn't sure. What's your question for the next guest? Can be anything. It can be, is the election rigged? Is what spirituality mean to you? I mean, whatever you want.
I've thought about this, and the one that just keeps popping back in my head is what's next. Just what's next.
I like
Good.
that.
Yeah.
Short and sweet. Are you gonna have to write that down, Brooks?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm
And
putting
write
it.
that.
I told
I'm putting
you,
it.
memory supplements.
I'm putting it inside inside of our calendar.
Hey,
Me
shout
and my
out
daughter
William.
were-
Shout out
where-
William.
where? Oh, I did, yeah. John Mayer.
I love that dude. Hey, Aaron Asher gives him so much shit.
Oh, I know, all the time on Facebook, all the fucking time. We need to have him on, both of them on at one point.
Man,
For
hey,
sure.
one of y'all ask Aaron. I'm gonna ask him too.
Okay. Yeah. I mean,
He ain't
yeah,
coming on.
I think that'd
He
be
ain't about to come on.
Yeah, he
bro.
probably not. Yeah, he's got a lot of show on Facebook, but I don't know about the rest of it.
We got
So-
Megan next.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Megan.
We got girl to girl. We got girl and girl again. Like you guys said, we weren't having enough girl guests, so I kind of hooked it up.
Well, we gotta reach everybody, man.
Yeah, I think the women. I really think women have more powerful stories sometimes because they go through. It's a little different for them. Us guys, we'll go break into something, and I'm not saying our stories aren't powerful, but like, man, like Tara's story. Who was our? Was
Oh,
she
yeah.
our first? She was our first girl, wasn't she?
Oh no, Susan Brown, I think was hers.
Susan was.
Yeah.
pretty fucking
Susan's story.
amazing. Yeah.
Susan, powerful.
And we
Mackenzie,
need to
great
do
job.
this at some time where we interview each other, so we can just
Oh.
kind of go into our own stories. So, well,
That would be
so
cool.
man, this has been really cool. Thank you very much. Like I said, hopefully we didn't put you on the spot too much. We try to keep an open conversation, but we're really grateful for you to be a part of episode 20. And yeah, like I said, we'd like to do a follow up at some point. I think we're gonna get the scheduling conflicts figured out soon. We need to do
A voting. We should do a voting thing.
right now.
No, not right now. Like where we vote against. I'm just playing. I don't even care.
Well, we could do a poll on Facebook, so. All right, so nobody kill the live stream before I get done with the music. All right, deal.
We're not going to, bro. You do your thing, bro. I'm just sitting here.
All right.
I'm vibing.
All right, thank you.
Robbie, like
Vibing.
funny.
guys.
Vibe. All right, guys, thank you for tuning in.
I just swing Dave, call this number back. I need $25 for this walk around sit down chair.
Productions. Been around the block. Been around the block.